The ancient signal. The stars were calm that night, but in the cold darkness of space, something unusual was stirring. On the planet Xiron, far from human charts or known galaxies, the alien fleet detected it. A strange energy signal pulsed across the sensors, faint but steady, almost like a heartbeat that had survived thousands of centuries. Commander Valen stared at the readouts, his three eyes narrowing. This is unlike anything we've ever seen, he whispered. His voice trembled, though he tried to hide it. The bridge of the warship Draxion was tense. Alien officers shuffled, their elongated limbs brushing against controls. Whispered debates echoed. Some said the signal was natural, a cosmic anomaly, perhaps. Others suspected something more sinister. The energy pattern was too regular, too intelligent. It had design, thought, purpose, and it was ancient. Valen's mind raced. His ancestors had fought many wars, explored countless systems, yet nothing in their history hinted at such a signal. He called the officers to order. "We investigate," he said firmly, though a shadow of fear crossed his face. "Prepare an expedition team." We go closer. The crew worked quickly. Lights blinked as energy shields calibrated, and the ship adjusted course. Outside the windows, the stars stretched like silver threads across the black void. The signal grew stronger, almost calling to them, a whisper that vibrated in the bones of every alien aboard. Minutes became hours as the fleet approached the source. The signal's pattern became clearer. It was not a planet, not an asteroid. It was a ship, a massive, silent human ship floating in the void, older than any record in alien memory. Its hull glimmered faintly, though covered in cosmic dust and ice. Lines of strange symbols traced the edges, unreadable yet strangely elegant. The aliens stopped their engines. Silence filled the bridge. No one spoke at first. Even the air, recycled through the life support systems, seemed to hold its breath. Valen stepped closer to the observation window. "It is enormous," he said, awe in his voice. "How could such a vessel exist before humans were even supposed to reach the stars?" A young officer, Nira, tilted her head. "Sir, the readings... The ship is active. Some energy cores are online. It's alive in a way." Her voice was soft, almost frightened. The crew exchanged nervous glances. Ships could drift, but alive? That was impossible. Valen nodded. He made a decision that would change everything. "We send a boarding team," he said. "I want to see inside, find out what is still functioning, and above all, understand why it is here." The boarding team prepared, suits sealed, weapons ready. Robots scanned for life forms. Every member of the team felt a mix of excitement and fear. None of them had ever boarded a ship this old. Thousands of centuries might have passed since any human last touched its controls, and yet, something inside still pulsed with energy. As they approached the ship and smaller craft, the alien crew noticed the sheer scale. Its hull towered like a floating city. Strange lights flickered along corridors, blinking on and off as if the ship was waking from a long slumber. The sensors picked up energy signatures too precise to be natural. Defense systems, control cores, and something else. Something they could not yet identify. The boarding team docked carefully. Airlocks hissed, doors sliding open into a darkness that smelled of old metal and time itself. They entered cautiously, weapons at the ready, scanning every corridor. The lights inside flickered as if the ship itself were breathing. Strange glyphs, glowing faintly, lined the walls, and holographic images shimmered briefly before vanishing. Then, suddenly, a voice echoed. Not through their radios, but in the air itself, deep and commanding, almost human yet alien in tone. "Who disturbs my slumber?" it asked. The words were old, but the energy behind them was raw, alive. The aliens froze. None of their translation devices could immediately understand the language, yet the meaning, the warning, was clear. The team pressed forward. Every step felt like walking through history itself. They saw massive halls filled with artifacts, relics of human civilization long forgotten, weapons of strange design, logs of battles across galaxies, and star charts marking wars that had lasted 1,000 centuries. Valen watched from the bridge as the live feed flickered. His crew was silent, tense, almost reverent. The human ship was no ordinary wreck. It was a monument, a warning, and perhaps a weapon. And as the aliens explored, the pulse of the ship's energy grew stronger, almost as if the vessel recognized their presence. The last image from the feed made Valen's heart skip. In the darkness of the main hall, A large holographic figure slowly rose. A human commander, armor shining faintly, eyes glowing with knowledge and power. "You should not have come here," the figure said. And then the feed cut to black. Silence returned to the bridge. No one moved. No one spoke. The weight of what they had discovered pressed down on them. The ancient human ship was not dead, and what it carried could change the galaxy forever, awakening the ghosts. The boarding team moved cautiously through the corridors of the ancient human ship. Every step echoed across vast halls carrying the weight of centuries. The air smelled metallic and old, yet there was something almost alive about it, a faint vibration under their feet that made their antennae tingle. Nira led the group, her three eyes scanning for traps or hidden threats. "Sir," she whispered into the comm, "the energy signatures, they're growing stronger. The ship is responding to us." Commander Valen watched the live feed from the Draxion. His heart pounded. "How can a ship react after thousands of centuries?" he murmured. "This defies every law of physics we know." He leaned forward, gripping the console. "Stay alert. We don't know what we've awakened." Inside the ship, lights flickered as the team advanced. Holographic symbols glowed on walls and consoles, pulsing like a heartbeat. The symbols were strange, intricate, and alien in design, yet faint traces hinted at human origin. As the crew approached the central chamber, the hum of energy grew louder, a low vibration that resonated through their suits. Then it happened. A door, massive and covered in glowing glyphs, slid open. A rush of air, surprisingly fresh, flowed out, carrying a faint scent of ozone and chemicals. The team froze. They had expected darkness, decay, maybe emptiness, but the chamber was alive. Machines whirred, lights blinked, and shadows danced across the walls. The human ship was not a tomb. It was awake. Nira stepped forward, touching a control panel. The moment her fingers brushed it, the room lit up fully. Holographic screens floated in mid-air, showing star maps, battle plans, and images of humans in armor, moving across planets and warships. It was history. History of a humanity no one alive had ever seen. The crew gasped. They fought wars across galaxies," muttered one alien. "Thousands of centuries ago, and they were unstoppable." Suddenly, alarms sounded. Red lights flashed and doors slammed shut behind them. The crew instinctively raised their weapons, scanning for threats. Robots, ancient human war machines, rolled from hidden compartments. Their eyes glowed bright and their movements were precise, unerring. The aliens had triggered the ship's defenses. "Hold your fire," Nira shouted, realizing the machines did not attack aggressively. They moved in patterns, circling, observing, almost testing the team. "It's assessing us," she said. "It's trying to understand who we are." The central chamber pulsed again, and a large holographic figure materialized. A human commander clad in armor with glowing lines appeared before them. His face was sharp, eyes piercing. "Who enters my domain?" the figure demanded. The voice was strong, commanding, vibrating through the hall. Every alien froze. The language was ancient, but somehow they understood the meaning. "A warning. A challenge," Valen's feed crackled. "Do you copy?" he asked. Nira replied, her voice tense. "We are trying to communicate." "The AI, it is alive, sir. Fully aware." The holographic commander raised a hand, and suddenly, images of ancient wars flashed around the room. Planets burned, fleets exploded, and soldiers fought across space in 1,000 battles. The aliens watched in awe. Humanity had not only explored the stars, they had conquered them, fought wars that spanned centuries, and left records that survived the collapse of their own civilizations. Suspense gripped the boarding team. The AI's eyes glowed brighter. "You are not human," it said slowly. "Then why have you come? Do you seek my knowledge, or my power?" Nira swallowed hard. We do not wish to fight," she said. "We only wish to learn." The AI paused, and the lights dimmed slightly. A low hum filled the chamber, almost like a sigh. "Then you must prove yourselves," it said. "Only those who can understand the price of war may touch its secrets." Machines shifted, and holographic simulations of ancient human battles activated. The aliens saw tactics, traps, and strategies beyond their understanding. "It's testing us," whispered one officer. "It wants to know if we are worthy of its knowledge." As the crew struggled to comprehend the simulations, a door opened at the far end of the chamber. A faint light spilled out, revealing a sealed room. Energy crackled around the entrance, and the air shimmered. Nira glanced at her team. "I think that is where the true secrets lie." Suddenly, a spark of energy shot from the doorway, and the AI commander's holographic form flickered. "You have awakened me," it said, voice stern. "And now you will see what humans left behind. But beware, the past is not kind. Those who do not respect it are destroyed." The boarding team stepped forward cautiously. The chamber's energy pulsed stronger, almost like the ship itself was alive. The alien officers felt a strange weight pressing on them, a mix of fear, awe, and curiosity. They had discovered humanity, but they were only scratching the surface. Outside, Valen gripped his console. "They've awakened something ancient," he muttered. "Something that could change everything we know about the galaxy." The last moment of Part 2 left the crew frozen in suspense. The sealed chamber held the true human legacy, one that could bring knowledge, power, or destruction. And deep inside, the AI's glowing eyes followed every step, measuring, judging, and waiting for the next move. The hidden war. The sealed chamber loomed before the alien boarding team, its door glowing faintly with streams of energy. The ship's AI commander watched them with eyes like burning stars, its holographic form tall and unyielding. "Behind this door," the AI said, "lies the truth of humanity's war. A war that shaped galaxies, a war your kind has never known." The aliens exchanged uneasy glances. Their claws tightened on weapons, their antennae trembled, and their hearts raced. The hum of the ship deepened as if it were listening to their fear. Nira took a step closer, steadying her breath. "If we are to understand," she said softly, "then show us. Let us see what humans left behind." The AI raised its hand and the door opened with a deep metallic groan. A wave of cold air swept through the corridor, prickling the alien's skin. Inside, they saw a vast hall, walls lined with strange capsules. Within each capsule flickered fragments of light like trapped souls. The aliens walked cautiously among them, their footsteps echoing. What are these?" whispered one officer. The AI's voice thundered in reply. "These are memories, records of battles, the echoes of the hidden war humanity fought for 1,000 centuries." The walls lit up and suddenly the chamber transformed. The aliens were no longer in a silent hall. They stood in the middle of a battlefield. Planets burned in the distance. Fleets of colossal ships clashed and explosions lit the stars. Soldiers in human armor charged across landscapes scarred by fire and ash. The simulation was so real that the aliens smelled smoke and heard screams. Nira gasped. This is history." The AI nodded. "History written in blood." Humanity rose not as conquerors but as survivors. Every enemy underestimated them. Every empire mocked them. Yet humans fought, adapted, endured, and with each century they grew stronger. The vision shifted. The aliens saw humans fighting monstrous insectoid swarms, reptilian warlords, and machine empires built to enslave life. For every enemy, humanity had found a strategy. Sometimes they won, sometimes they fell, but always they returned stronger. One alien soldier trembled. "They fought against empires older than our stars." "And they survived?" "Yes," said the AI, its voice cold. "And they won battles no one believed possible. But victory came at a price. Entire generations burned away. Worlds lost forever. Humanity carried scars deeper than any species could imagine. That is why we hid our legacy. Why we left this ship drifting. Because knowledge of our war could destroy civilizations unprepared to wield it." The aliens were silent. Their hearts pounded as they witnessed humans standing in hopeless battles, never giving up. The images burned into their minds. Then the vision changed again. The aliens saw something darker. Not just battles, but weapons. Massive engines capable of tearing moons apart, cannons that cracked planets, and worse, small, precise weapons designed to shatter armies in seconds. The aliens froze in terror. Nira whispered, "This power, it could wipe out entire empires." The AI's eyes glowed brighter. "Yes, and you must decide. Will you respect this knowledge or will you be destroyed by it? Humanity did not leave these weapons behind as gifts. They are warnings." The boarding team's comms crackled with Commander Valen's voice. "What are you seeing?" he demanded. Nira hesitated, then replied, "We're seeing the truth, Commander. Humans weren't just travelers. They were warriors beyond anything we've ever faced." The AI suddenly stepped closer, towering over them. "You must understand. Humanity fought because the galaxy left them no choice. They were smaller, weaker, fewer. But their will was endless. That is why they survived. That is why they feared no one." The chamber pulsed again and the capsules flickered brighter. The visions grew violent, Fleets colliding, worlds burning, human voices shouting commands in 1,000 languages. Then the images faded, leaving silence once more. The aliens stood trembling, shaken to their core. Neera's hands shook as she lowered her weapon. "Why show us this?" she asked. "Why reveal such horrors to us?" The AI's voice softened, but only slightly. "Because you sought the truth, and now the truth is yours to bear. What you do with it will decide if your species stands or falls." The chamber's energy pulsed one last time and the floor trembled. A hidden console rose from the center of the room, glowing with unreadable human symbols. The AI gestured toward it. "This is the archive. Within it are strategies, records, and weapons designs from the hidden war. It will answer your questions. But once accessed, it cannot be undone." The aliens looked at one another. Fear, awe, and temptation burned in their eyes. The archive could make them the strongest empire in the galaxy, or doom them forever. Valen's voice broke through the calm. "Team, do not touch it yet. We must think carefully. This is not only knowledge. It is a test, and we may not survive it." The boarding team froze, caught between command and curiosity. The glowing console hummed, waiting. The AI's eyes narrowed as if measuring their souls. The ship was silent, holding its breath. And in that silence, one thought echoed in every alien mind. Humanity's war was not truly over. It had only been sleeping, waiting to awaken again. Shadows of humanity. The alien boarding team had barely caught their breath when the AI commander's holographic form shifted. Its glowing eyes followed every movement, scanning, judging. "You have learned, but understanding alone is not enough," it said. "You must survive what humans created." Neera's 3 eyes darted to the corridor ahead. Shadows moved along the walls, unnaturally fast. The lights flickered again, and a low rumble echoed through the ship. "Sir, the ship, it's alive in ways we cannot predict," she warned. Commander Valen leaned closer to his console aboard the Draxion, gripping the edge tightly. "Do not underestimate it," he said, his voice tense. "This ship is more than history. It is a weapon." Inside the chamber, the air grew warmer, almost oppressive. Machines that had been dormant for millennia activated. Robotic sentries emerged from hidden compartments, their metal limbs gleaming faintly. The team raised their weapons instinctively, scanning for threats. But the AI had not yet given an attack command. It was testing them, observing their reactions. The holographic commander's voice filled the hall again. Humans fought not for conquest alone, but for survival. Many enemies sought to destroy them. Their power was unmatched, but so was their caution. You will now face simulations that mirror their battles. Fail, and the ship will consider you enemies. The walls flickered, and suddenly the aliens were engulfed in a projection that filled the entire chamber. They were no longer in the ship. They stood on a battlefield, a human world ravaged by war. Alien and human soldiers clashed across craters, fires burning sky-high, debris scattered like stars across the ground. The aliens realized quickly these were not just holograms. The ship was using simulations to train, test, and perhaps judge intruders. Neera's stomach tightened. "Sir, it feels real. The heat, the sound, even the smell. It's like we're inside their battles." She took a cautious step forward, scanning the environment. The humans in the projection moved with precision and coordination, unlike anything the aliens had ever seen. Every strike, every strategy, every trap had a purpose, a centuries-old logic that was terrifyingly effective. Suddenly, one of the robotic sentries fired a laser, directed at the projection. It passed harmlessly through the holographic enemy, but the team realized the danger. The ship could merge simulations with real consequences if provoked. One misstep could activate defenses that would harm them physically. A junior officer froze, terrified. "Sir, these humans, they were monsters," he whispered. "And yet, their discipline, their courage." He trailed off, awed. The AI commander's hologram shifted as if reading their thoughts. "You see shadows of humanity," it said. "They were not perfect, but they were powerful. And their legacy must be respected." Then the projection changed. A massive human war machine rose from the ashes of the battlefield. A towering robot armed with energy cannons, its armor engraved with glowing lines of human script. The sentries beside the team stiffened, almost in fear, but it was the hologram's test. The aliens had to think quickly, learn fast, and survive. Every wrong move could trigger the ship's ancient defenses. Neera signaled the team. "Split into pairs. Observe patterns. Learn before acting." They moved cautiously, scanning the holographic battlefield while remaining aware of the real sentries. Laser beams zipped past, smoke filled the corridors, and the AI's voice guided them, taunting and teaching at the same time. Hours seemed to pass in minutes. The aliens adapted, learning strategies from simulations, understanding human tactics, and noticing the elegance hidden behind centuries of warfare. It was terrifying and mesmerizing at the same time. Nira realized something vital. These humans were not just fighters. They were thinkers, planners, and survivors on a scale far beyond alien imagination. Suddenly, the floor trembled. A hidden chamber beneath the battlefield projections began to open. Energy crackled from within, and the AI's voice grew louder, more intense. You have survived part of the trial, but the true legacy lies below. Those who enter must prove their courage and wisdom, for what sleeps there has not awoken in 1,000 centuries. The aliens exchanged nervous glances. None wanted to underestimate what lay below. Some of the older officers whispered about stories passed down among alien civilizations. Ancient humans had powers and technology lost to time, capable of destroying entire fleets. And yet curiosity and duty drove them forward. Nira stepped to the edge of the opening. "Sir, this is it. This is the final step of the test. We go down or we leave empty-handed." Her voice was steady, though her antennae twitched nervously. Commander Valen's image appeared on the feed, watching them. "Do what you must," he said. "But remember, the past is alive here. Respect it, or it will consume you." As the team descended into the chamber, the light of the simulations flickered above them, casting eerie shadows on the walls. The air hummed with energy, and the AI's presence pressed down like a living thing. The aliens felt history, war, and wisdom surround them. Every step forward carried suspense, danger, and awe. And then at the end of the chamber, a massive sealed vault shimmered with energy. Its surface pulsed faintly as if breathing. The AI's voice echoed one final time. "Beyond this door lies the true shadow of humanity. Enter if you dare, and be ready for what has waited 1,000 centuries." The team stopped, hearts pounding. Silence fell. The shadows of humanity stretched around them, ancient, dangerous, and mesmerizing. Their next step would change everything. Echoes across time. The alien team stepped carefully into the chamber beyond the pulsing vault. The air vibrated with energy, and the walls shimmered faintly, covered in human inscriptions they could not yet read. Nira felt a chill crawl up her spine. "Sir," she whispered into the comm, "this place, it feels older than the universe itself." Commander Valen watched the live feed aboard the Draxion. His claws tightened on the console. "Be careful," he warned. "Whatever is in there is not just history, it is alive in ways we cannot understand." Inside, the team moved slowly, scanning everything. The chamber was massive, stretching farther than their sensors could measure. Holographic images flickered around them, projecting scenes from human history. Cities burned, armies marched across strange planets. Ships battled in space, leaving streaks of light that rivaled the stars themselves. Every scene pulsed with energy, as if the humans themselves had left their spirits imprinted into the machine. Nira gasped. These are not just battles. They are warnings, lessons, strategies, knowledge of war that spans thousands of centuries. She pointed to a massive hologram of humans fighting side by side, their armor glowing with strange energy lines. "Look at how coordinated they are. Their minds and their tactics. They're beyond anything we know." One of the older officers, Talran, stepped forward, touching a console. Suddenly, a projection activated, showing a massive human fleet attacking a world. The aliens watched as humans deployed weapons so precise, so calculated, that every strike destroyed only what they intended. These humans, they were careful, smart, and ruthless when needed, Talran muttered. His voice carried awe and fear. A sudden tremor ran through the chamber. Lights flickered and energy arcs danced across the floor. The AI commander's holographic form appeared again, larger than before, his glowing eyes fixed on the aliens. "You see the echoes of humanity," he said. "Every battle, every strategy, every choice is preserved here. But knowledge without understanding is dangerous." Nira nodded, understanding the warning. "Sir," she said, "we are learning, but this is more than knowledge. It's power. If misused..." Her voice trailed off, fear creeping in. The AI seemed to sense her hesitation. "Power is not just destruction," it said. "It is survival, adaptation, and courage. Humans fought for centuries to preserve what they valued, but their wars left shadows that could consume any who do not respect them. Suddenly, one of the vault doors opened, revealing a smaller chamber glowing with golden energy. Inside, a massive array of consoles and strange devices hummed. The aliens approached cautiously, sensing that this room contained humanity's most guarded secrets. On the central platform lay a crystalline core pulsing like a heartbeat. Nira reached out, careful not to touch, but the moment she did, the room exploded with visions. They saw humans building ships that could cross galaxies in days, weapons that could disable entire fleets without destroying planets, messages sent across centuries preserved in quantum memory, and then flashes of faces, humans who had led wars, humans who had negotiated peace, humans who had sacrificed everything to protect their civilizations. Talrin's voice shook. They left their lives, their memories, all here. This is why they are legends, not because of what they destroyed, but because of what they endured and preserved. The AI's voice filled the chamber again, stronger, echoing across every wall. You understand now. Humanity's wars were long, violent, and complex, but they were never mindless. Each act, each battle, each sacrifice, it was calculated. It was meant to teach, and now you will carry these lessons into the future. Nira looked at her team. Some were pale, others silent, their eyes wide with comprehension. Sir, she whispered, this knowledge, it could change the galaxy. If we take it back, it could make us unstoppable, or it could destroy us if we fail to understand it properly. The AI's form flickered, as if acknowledging her words. You are beginning to understand. But beware, humans left more than knowledge. They left tests, traps, and defenses. Curiosity alone will not protect you. Wisdom will. A sudden vibration shook the chamber, stronger than before. Energy flowed from the crystalline core, spreading along the walls and floors. The aliens instinctively raised their weapons, unsure what would happen next. It's responding to us, Nira said. The ship, it knows we are here. It is judging us. The AI's voice grew calm but firm. Beyond this room lies the ultimate legacy. Those who enter must respect what they find, or the shadows of humanity will consume them. Only then will the knowledge be truly theirs. Nira exchanged glances with her team. The weight of responsibility pressed upon them. They had discovered humans, awakened their legacy, and survived the test so far. But the true challenge, the secrets that humans had protected for 1,000 centuries, awaited. And they knew that one wrong move could trigger ancient defenses capable of destroying them all. The team took a deep breath, stepping toward the central crystalline core. The golden light reflected on their suits, casting long shadows across the chamber. Every pulse of energy felt like a heartbeat of the past. Every flicker of light a whisper from humans who had fought, survived, and left their mark on time itself. Nira whispered, almost to herself, we are walking among ghosts. But these ghosts are alive, and they are watching us. The chamber hummed louder, and the AI's holographic eyes glowed brighter. Prepare yourselves, it said. The echoes of time are about to reveal what humans feared, hoped for, and created. Step forward and you will see the true legacy of humanity, a legacy older and stronger than any of you can imagine. Legacy of the humans. The alien team stood in silence as the vault door slid open with a deep, echoing groan. Golden light spilled into the chamber, bathing their suits in a glow that felt warm and heavy at the same time. Nira's throat tightened. This was it. The final chamber. The place where humanity's last secrets had been kept for 1,000 centuries. The crystalline core at the center pulsed like a living heart. Strange symbols ran along its surface, flowing like rivers of light. The moment the aliens stepped inside, the AI commander's holographic form appeared again, towering over them, his eyes like burning stars. You have come far, it said, its voice resonating across the chamber. Few have endured the trials, but now, you must decide. Commander Valen's voice came crackling through the comms from the Draxian. Decide what? He demanded. His tone was harsh, but beneath it was fear. The AI turned its gaze toward the feed as if it could see him directly. The knowledge of humanity is not a gift. It is a burden. Those who carry it will shape galaxies through wisdom or through war. The aliens felt the weight of the words settle over them. Nira stepped forward, her hand trembling. What happens if we take this knowledge? She asked. The AI's form flickered, and around them visions filled the air. They saw alien fleets burning under human weapons. They saw entire civilizations saved because humans chose mercy over power. They saw children laughing under alien suns because humans had protected them, even at the cost of their own blood. And then they saw silence, an empty galaxy, human voices fading into the void. The AI's voice was calm, but each word struck like thunder. You will inherit both their strength and their shadows. Take it, and you may rise. But if you fall to arrogance, you will awaken the same wars that consumed humanity. The team exchanged nervous glances. Talron whispered, "Sir, this is too much. We are not ready." Another officer shook his head. "And yet, can we turn away? If another species finds this ship, they might take everything and use it against us." The chamber hummed louder. The crystalline core split open, revealing a smaller sphere floating inside, glowing with pure white light. It pulsed, sending waves of energy through the chamber. The AI's voice lowered, almost gentle now. "This is their legacy. Knowledge, memory, power. If you accept it, you must guard it with your lives. If you refuse, the ship will seal again. And wait for others." Nira stepped closer, her breath shallow. She felt as if countless human eyes were on her, watching, judging, waiting. For a moment, she imagined what it must have been like for them. Fighting endless wars, making impossible choices, carrying hope even when death surrounded them. She whispered, "They fought so no one else would have to live in fear." The AI's glowing eyes softened. "Yes, that is why they endured. Not to dominate, but to protect." Commander Valen's voice cut through again. "Nira, this decision is bigger than us. Bigger than our fleet. Bigger than our species. If we take this knowledge, we will never be the same." The chamber grew still. Only the pulsing light of the sphere remained, steady, waiting. The silence stretched until Nira raised her hand. Her fingers brushed the sphere, and in that instant, visions poured into her mind. She saw the birth of stars, the rise and fall of empires, the laughter and tears of human lives across millennia. She felt their courage, their pain, their will to fight, and their stubborn hope. Her knees buckled, but she stayed standing, tears forming in her eyes. "I understand," she whispered. "Humanity's legacy is not only war. It is survival. It is memory. It is hope." The sphere glowed brighter, then dissolved into streams of light that flowed into the walls, the floor, the very air of the ship. The AI's form shimmered one final time. "You have chosen well. Humanity is gone, but through you, their story continues." The chamber dimmed and the vault sealed behind them. The ship's hum softened like a great beast finally resting. The alien team staggered back, exhausted but alive. On the Draxion, Commander Valen sat in silence, his eyes fixed on the fading glow of the human ship. "Transmit everything we recorded," he ordered quietly. "But we do not share this carelessly. We guard it. We protect it." His voice cracked slightly. "Because if we forget what humans taught us, the galaxy will bleed again." As the fleet pulled away, the ancient ship drifted back into silence, its systems powering down slowly, almost peacefully. It was no longer a threat, no longer a test. It was a monument. A reminder. A shadow and a light waiting in the void. And in that silence, the aliens carried something new in their hearts. Respect, fear, and hope. Humanity had been gone for 1,000 centuries, yet their legacy still shaped the galaxy. And now, the aliens knew the truth. No matter how many empires rose and fell, no matter how many wars were fought, the memory of humans would never die.